Yeah.
Yeah,
How
good
are you?
morning.
Morning.
I'm blessed always, in all ways, man. All the better for speaking to you. I watched the series with my children, and there was an intensity about their engagement, which lets me know this is a win, right? There's only one opportunity, right, to do things for the first time. So congratulations on bringing this to market. For me, I looked at the partnership between yourselves and Walt Disney Animation Studios, yourselves being Kugali, for those who don't know, um, and the creation of Iwaju as history. And I said to myself, I'm glad to be a part of this conversation. I wanted to know specifically, while time is short, what this moment means to you and the significance of it.
There's a quote that, apparently, before I even go with the quote, your intro, how you came in amazing. Uh, there's a quote that the world usually says about Africa, which is whatever happens in the world, give it 2 years, it'll happen to Africa, which kind of means Africa is always behind. And one of the core things when we started Kugali as a company is they wanted to be innovating in storytelling. And the fact that we were the first to do this with the largest entertainment company in the world, one of the oldest ones, Disney, kind of makes a mark that that is not true anymore. We can lead in the area of entertainment. And if you look at other aspects as well, Africa is really, really coming up right now, which I'm very excited about. So it means a lot that we are leading and it's actually fulfilling one of the goals that we wanted to do when we started Kugali.
So I'll touch on a more personal area. You know, you mentioned that you watched the series with your family, and perhaps it wasn't obvious to me when I first started, but now that about half of my family has watched the series, my immediate family, I now realize that there's a much deeper personal uh aspect of this for me, just seeing their emotions and the way that they reacted to the whole thing. I think that one thing that they really loved about it was just showcasing the culture. You know, all of my siblings, we've all lived in Lagos for large periods of our lives, and just seeing our everyday culture represented in such a large and expansive world in a way just is very similar to like music with Afrobeats. When we've started to hear people talk the way that we talk and sing the way that we have sung traditionally, and it's being celebrated across the world. People are dancing to our music. It feels very, very similar with animated storytelling now.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off what Ziki said. I think the global reach, this is the first time that I'm aware of that a story made by Africans and a story about Africa told by Africans is getting this level of global reach. So the fact that because of the resources Disney Animation has, this story is going to be released in multiple languages in countries that African stories, Nollywood movies never get to. I think that's a really big deal because we are reaching a larger audience than any story that I'm aware of from Africa has reached before. So I'm just very privileged to be the first to do this. I know it will become more normal over time.
Tolu, just speak to this storytelling for me, please, and just also the pressure's on now, right? The bar's been set, the standards are high. How do you scale? Because I know that's a key area of importance for you guys.
Okay, Kugali, we tell African stories all the time. We've been doing it since before we got this opportunity. So we've been improving on our craft every year. And having gone through this, all three of us and the Kugali team as a whole has improved again in our ability to tell great stories. So I think the next time we get an opportunity to tell another story, we'll do it better. That's a given. But I also think that I'm proud of this story in itself because we've always said right from when we started the company, we didn't want people to hand us cookies. We didn't want people to consume our content just because we're African. Like, oh, I'm African too. Let me read this comic because Africans made it. We want the stories to actually be good. We want the escapism, the same kind of escapism we enjoyed as kids, watching things growing up and just loving it for its content, not because it was from our culture. Because we've watched a lot of things from Japan, America, has nothing to do with African culture, but we loved it as kids. We feel like if it's good enough, a kid from anywhere in the world would enjoy it, not because it represents their culture, but because it's actually good. The quality is good. And we fought for that. And I feel we delivered on that. This is an actual good story. The world building, the storytelling, everything is good. And I'm proud that we were able to do that.
Listen, thank you so much for your time. Iwaju, I must say, a robotic character with an authentic Nigerian voice, a first. Brilliant. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.